Oh, hey, hi. It's Stan Phelps. Excited to be here to walk you through a book preview of Silver Goldfish. What's Silver Goldfish about? It's about the 10 keys to delivering memorable business presentations. And let's start with the problem. Here's the problem. Speaking and presenting is our number one fear as human beings. In fact, it's greater than the fear of dying, right? Perhaps no one better than Jerry Seinfeld puts this in context. In Jerry's words, what does that mean? He says, this means to the average person, if you go to a funeral, you are better off in the casket than doing the eulogy. It doesn't make any sense. And the reason why people are afraid of speaking is essentially comes down to our nerves. And here's the truth according to Mark Twain. He said there's only two types of speakers out there. He said, one, those that are nervous, and two, those that are liars, right? We all have nerves when we present. In fact, no one, and I mean no one watching this right now was born a presenter. Here's the truth. It's a skill that you develop. It takes discipline and practice. And this book preview is going to give you some guidelines that you can use to help you on your journey of becoming a better presenter. And it's going to start with us sharing on this book preview 10 tips. And tips is going to be to improve presentation skills, to become what we call loud and clear. Now, why loud and clear? Loud and Clear is an ode to my father, John Phelps Sr. And all the way back in 1947, he joined the U.S. Army Air Force, and in 1948, he graduated from what's called the U.S. Signal Corps. He became a radio repairman, and his job was to be able to measure the strength of a signal when a radio was communicating. And that measurement was highly based on just two things: strength and clarity. And so when they were measuring the strength of a signal, there was a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best. So if you were coming through perfectly, you were coming through 5 by 5, or what we all refer to today as coming across loud and clear. Now, the volume bit of coming across loud is simply this, is your ability when you present to engage the audience and rise above the distraction. The clarity piece is this: when you put your presentation together, how do you put it together in a way that's clear and memorable? So let's look at the 10 tips, the 10 keys to coming across loud and clear. Now, the book is loaded with over 75 tips, but let me just give you a couple handful to get you going. The first is this, and it's about loudness. It's about the idea of impress. People make judgments about you before a word comes out of your mouth. So the way that you dress wants to impress your competence on your audience. 2, you want to connect. And nothing does that better than being able to tell stories to your audience. To quote my friend Brian Eisenberg, facts tell, stories sell. The third bit is this: express. Understand that when you're connecting with the audience, and especially when you're communicating something with feeling, only 7% of what you communicate are the words that you use. All right, so when you're communicating feeling, the remainder, 55%, is your body language, your gestures, and 38% is the tone that you use. Number 4, facilitate. Here's the tip. Don't end with Q&A. That just leaves a dud. Take questions and then finish with a closing story and a call to action. Number 5, entertain. As much as it's about informing your audience, it's also about keeping them engaged and entertained. You need to know the 10-minute rule of audience engagement. Dr. John Medina says the human brain can't concentrate on anything more than 10 minutes at a clip. So every 10 minutes in your presentation, what do you need to do? You need to mix it up for your audience. That could be a video, a role play, an exercise, but keep it fresh, reset the audience. Number 6, this is about the clarity piece, your objective. And here's the thing, one thing is what you want to be able to communicate and be memorable from your presentation. So figure out that one thing. The second part of clarity is having objective or objectives. Don't try to boil the ocean and cover 10, 15 things. People typically remember things in sets of 3. So 3 is the magic number. Yes, it is. Number 8, outline. This is about the time that you have to prepare for your presentation. Great tip here called the rule of thirds from Nancy Duarte. She says you want to spend the first third of your time organizing, sketching, putting your outline and ideas together. The second third of your time is going to be spent illustrating those ideas, looking at the visuals that you need, potentially slides. And the final third is what? It's rehearsing and learning your material and getting comfortable with it. Number 9. Number 9 is to visualize what props, what slides, how are you going to use visuals to bring that message to life. It could even be a whiteboard, right? But if you're using images, you want to be familiar with what's called the PowerPoints. You might have seen this kind of tic-tac-toe when you've looked through a camera finder before. But where those lines intersect, those 4 points are called the PowerPoints. So you want to draw emphasis to these 4 PowerPoints. Couple other tips if you're using images. Use great high-res images. Limit the text. No bullets, right? And do me a favor, don't use the default font. Number 10, it's about timing. And what's the tip here? Finish on time. This is the cardinal rule of presenting. With few exceptions, there is no excuse for ever going over the time that you have. So finish on time. I want to leave you with a quote from Warren Buffett. And you listen to Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett says here, he says, one of the things you want to be sure to do, whether you like it or not, is to get comfortable with public speaking. That's an asset that will last you 50 to 60 years. It is a necessary skill. And with that, we're excited to launch on May 5th, 5-5. There's a strategic why behind May 5th. But on May 5th, we're going to launch the Silver Goldfish. I'm going to be joined by my co-author on this, Alan Hoffler, who's amazing. In fact, he's my speaking coach. And we couldn't be more happy to help you be a better presenter.